Hello and welcome to the Completely Biased podcast, back after a long hiatus, or actually, it wasn't that long.
It feels pretty long.
It feels pretty long, but it was a little holiday break. I hope everyone had good, happy holidays and Happy New Year, all that jazz.
2018, we're back.
2018, we're back, and hopefully this year is a little bit better than 2017. But anyways, I'm joined with my co-host, Trevor Barber. Trevor, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. We're at the poker table.
Yeah.
We bring the poker table back, or we're coming back to the poker table. We had to pull it out of the dusty corner of the room.
Actually, well, everything's getting moved around in the room because I'm moving soon.
Yeah,
so.
and we'll have our own new studio set up.
Yeah, it's gonna be
maybe
really
like
cool.
Soundproofing and
Yeah, I can't wait to have
better mics.
I'm like labeling the boxes studio. Like this is where the stuff's going.
Yeah,
it's pretty exciting.
Anyways, a few days ago, something pretty big happened. It was the college football championship.
Yep.
And we're both pretty upset with the result of that championship. Since we have been gone so long, a lot of stuff has happened. Obviously, we had all the bowl games and all the college football playoffs and stuff. If you've been living under a rock, Alabama beat Georgia in overtime in a really great game.
It was really good.
Instant classic is all the superlatives you can throw out there.
Right.
But, just talk about... I didn't personally watch it, but I was like kind of following along, and I texted you at like 5 a.m. when I woke up and saw the score, because I was like, okay, because you texted me, it's like, oh, Alabama missed the game-winning field goal. I was like, okay, Georgia won. And I went to bed, and I woke up and it was like Alabama wins on epic throw from my boy Tua.
Yeah, it was insane. Tua Tagovailoa, I don't even...
Tagovailoa.
It's tongue. You have to pronounce the word tongue in his
Tagovailoa,
name.
then.
It's tongue. I don't even try. Tua, obviously, is the hero if you haven't been living under a rock.
And I forgot that he went to Alabama because I watched this show that he was on. It was called the Elite 11.
Yeah, with all
it was
the
like a quarterback. Yeah, it was a quarterback, high school quarterback camp / competition.
Yeah,
like American Idol for quarterbacks.
Yeah, I remember watching that too, but you don't really. They're freshmen. They normally don't play.
I remember when I told you though, I was like, Tua is a freaking monster.
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
And I think I said at the point, I was like, Alabama's got a really good quarterback or whatever when he signed there, and then I kind of forgot about it because he's a freshman.
Freshman quarterbacks don't play in college.
But he goes in, and in the national championship game, and then balls out. He had mistakes. He's a freshman, but
he has played.
He didn't look like he was a freshman at all.
No, he's played what? I think he played in 6 games this year, but all in the end of blowouts. He never played in anything less than an 18-point lead. So that should tell you how good Alabama is. But he's been this touted freshman out of Hawaii called left-handed Marcus Mariota. They went to the same high school. They play really similar. But yeah, so Georgia's up 20-7. Tua ends up throwing a pick, and that's when you're kind of thinking, okay, it's over. Georgia's got it. Well, then Georgia returns, gets a ball tipped, and their defensive tackle picks it off. And it's like, oh, here we go. And then Tua marches them down the field twice. Tie game. Jake Fromm, freshman quarterback from Georgia, he gets a chance to win it. They don't win it. Alabama comes back, marches back down, misses the game-winning field goal. And then in overtime, I really thought Georgia had it. They kicked the field goal and gave it back to Bama, and Bama ended up getting like a 16-yard loss. Tua took a really bad sack. And it's like, okay, 2nd and 26, Georgia's going to win this game. And he literally
bombed
just
it.
Looks off the safety. The safety goes middle. Corner doesn't press at all, and guy's wide open, and he just launched it.
What a throw. That was I woke up because I got like a news update. It wasn't even like the sports news. It was just a general news update. It was like Alabama wins national championship on throw from Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. I thought Georgia had won. I thought Georgia had it under control. Let me go watch the throw real quick. And I was just like, oh my goodness, this throw. And Alabama, maybe, if you're college football fans and SEC fans, sorry. Because Tua's going to be there for at least 3 more years, or at least 2 more years. And he's probably going to be starting come next year.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how you can win the national championship and then go into the next season and not be starting. So.
I heard from somebody who follows Alabama that even if let's assume Jalen Hurts was great, they won the national championship with Jalen Hurts. They said Tua probably would have still beat him out for the job next year anyway.
Yeah. I mean, he was
yeah.
Like I was saying, like he looked good in high school and just amazing.
Yeah. It was a little sad. I wanted him to lose so bad.
I know, we both did. I mean, everyone like it's like the Warrior situations. Like, it's fine, I guess, but like, I don't have a dog in the race, but I don't want Alabama to win.
Here's the most annoying part to me, and this is why I think we need to redo the college football system again. But just think about this for a second. If the Wisconsin quarterback doesn't throw an interception against Ohio State, Alabama doesn't get in. Like that. And Alabama wins the national.
I know,
but
that's
ridiculous.
So this is also the defense of why, like, all the committee and stuff is like, see, we were right about Alabama. They're the best because they ended up winning.
Yeah.
Well, no, anyone can beat anyone any day. I'm just like, and last week, or not last week, but the first round. I mean, that was and they destroyed them, didn't they?
Yeah. Clemson really just didn't belong that day. It felt like.
Yeah, but I mean, like they were better for most of the season.
I mean,
it's just
they
like
probably are, and they probably are the best team in the country. But it's just kind of like, imagine if Wisconsin wins the game, they're automatically in because they're undefeated, and Alabama's not, and you're like, okay, well then the best team is, the best team wasn't going to win if Alabama is the best team, so they've got to figure something else out.
It's just weird. Like, I don't know how you could do it with college football because no one plays the same people.
That's what who was it? Was it Gottlieb or Klatt, one of those guys from FS1 was like, just give them like a set schedule. So you play your conference regularly, whatever, 6 or 7 games, and then have
the second half of the season be a tournament style.
Well, not that. Just have your so let's say the second team in the SEC plays the second team in the Big Ten. The first team in the SEC plays the first team in the Pac-12 or whatever. Match them up for your last 5 games, and that's how your schedule works. That way you're playing. Like the NFL does it. Like if you win the division in the NFC the next year, or the NFC East, you play the winner of the NFC West, the NFC South, the NFC North. I think that's the best way to do it because you're playing against your own competition, which I thought was a really good idea. But I don't know. It just seems ridiculous that Alabama gets to beat up on like Mercer and Troy and then make it all the way. They get in because Wisconsin loses and then they win it all.
Hey, Troy's a tough out.
They beat LSU. So.
Troy's a tough out. Anyways, moving on from that's about all I have to say. Like, I don't follow college football that closely. Like, I peek in every once in a while. I learn the players for the draft, and that's about it. Speaking of the draft, though, we got NFL playoffs going on right now.
Yeah.
The first week was pretty wild.
Well, Tennessee's still in it.
Tennessee
somehow.
is in the second round of the NFL playoffs. Marcus Mariota threw 12 touchdowns and 14 interceptions during the regular season, and they're still in the playoffs.
But if you're touchdown to himself in the playoffs, and that's what's important.
Yeah, that was the best one. Just talk about the playoffs real quick. The first round, just a quick recap.
Well, Kansas City loses obviously to Tennessee. Marcus Mariota is going to play in Foxborough, so that's not a likely matchup for him. But
maybe he'll throw another touchdown to himself.
I think he's going to have to throw 2 to give himself a chance. So we got Jacksonville beat Buffalo.
Yep.
Pretty handedly. Prayers out for Tyrod Taylor, who looked like he was dead in the last minute of the game.
A lot of concussions for quarterbacks. Or I guess not a lot. 2 concussions for quarterbacks, but in 4 games. That's pretty sizable amount.
I'm going to take a little side note here. I think the NFL needs to redo their whole concussion protocol. Cause,
they need to do a lot of things about the concussion protocol.
I mean, Cam Newton fell over and they threw him back in the game, and it's ridiculous. It's just,
because it's winning over anything.
It's a joke though. Like you can't preach player safety.
I know,
and then throw guys out with concussions.
That's been my whole problem with the NFL in general. It's just like, I don't like how the NFL is run on a lot of different bases, not just because of the concussion stuff, but concussion stuff's a big thing. How they treat certain crimes or not crimes is a joke. How they treat their players is a joke. I mean, the reason that NBA is growing so much and the NBA's popularity is going up and up and up is because they have these personalities. Maybe, take the personalities that you do have in the NFL, because there are personalities in the NFL. They're harder to see, but like, let them do what they do. Let them be personalities.
I agree.
They're playing a freaking kids game. They're throwing egg-shaped balls at each other. Like, what do you like?
Yeah.
I just don't get like why it has to be so like button-up tie event. It doesn't have to be. There's freaking half-naked dudes drinking beer falling off the stands. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm with you. Let them be who they are. I want to see more of that. Like, a big thing for me is, and this I guess kind of applies to baseball too, because they don't have a whole lot of people out there.
I will say this with the NFL. They gave a little bit of the personality back to them this year.
They did a little bit, but like, and this might be a player choice, but like, I want to see Tom Brady. Like, Tom Brady's the best player in football. Like, I want to see promote Tom Brady, promote Odell Beckham Jr., promote Antonio Brown.
It's like the whole football thing though. It's like whenever you're growing up playing football in high school or whatever, it's always the team. It's not you. It's just fine. And it's a team sport. It's more of a team sport than basketball, I'd say is. But it's like also you got like this is a way to sell it, and like you have these people that are making you tons and tons of money.
Yeah, and my other thing is like, I mean, kind of back. It's like I was watching a commercial the other day, and the Express for Men commercials. Like I saw like Jamal Murray and John Collins and Denzel Valentine.
Yeah,
like
those are
no offense because they're all good players, but like nobody cares who they are. And I can't find Ben Roethlisberger or Drew Brees like on a commercial ever.
Yeah.
I've seen like one Drew Brees commercial in like 3 years.
It's ridiculous. It's like the biggest star quarterbacks, and I want to see like the cornerbacks and wide receivers and offensive linemen get some shine too. Like,
let's give Joe Thomas some airtime.
Yeah, for real. I mean, I'm sure he's freaking hilarious.
But I mean, continuing on with the NFL playoffs, the Saints did beat the Panthers. The Panthers kind of had a chance to win it, but they couldn't fall through. Couldn't come through.
I thought it was going to be a blowout, honestly, because the Saints had scored. I mean, they still scored 30 on them, but the Saints had scored 30 on them both games that year. Or this year, and I
guess some teams are just better, and the Saints are just better than the Panthers.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a blowout for the Saints, and they were just going to. But Carolina made it a game.
Yeah,
like you said, Jacksonville ended up beating Buffalo, which is kind of. We both wanted to see Tyrod stick it to the Buffalo coaching staff and be like, "Hey, I got you in the playoffs."
I mean, he did. He still got him there. They still treat him like crap. It's so messed up.
I know.
But so we got the Saints at the Vikings this week, and then we've got the Falcons at the Eagles. Without Carson Wentz, the Falcons should win that game. And
so for the Saturday games is Atlanta and Philadelphia, and then Tennessee, New England. Do you want to do quick predictions on these?
Yeah, I'll take the Falcons because I just don't trust Nick Foles, and I think the Patriots just wipe Tennessee off the field.
I'm going with Philadelphia.
Really?
Just as like an upset thing, because I don't believe in Atlanta. They weren't as spectacular as I thought they would be against LA. And LA is like a very young team, hasn't really been there before. I mean, Philadelphia kind of is too. But if Carson Wentz hadn't gone down, this would be a blowout.
Oh, I would agree with that.
But I'm still going to go with Philadelphia. I think that they're just a better team in general. Matty Ice is a better quarterback, but I think Philadelphia has a better team. And then, I mean, this is a... I mean...
Good job, Marcus. Yeah. You got one game, but... No.
But I mean, like, what if... No, I'm not going to say what if. New England's going to
Tom Brady's going to kill.
New England's going to win this one 45-15. And then they're bringing in some random quarterback off the bench because they don't have either of their old backups anymore. And then there's Sunday games. We got Jacksonville at Pittsburgh and New Orleans and Minnesota, like you said. Jacksonville and Pittsburgh, that's a defensive kind of matchup.
Yeah. Pittsburgh, as long as Antonio Brown comes back healthy, I think Pittsburgh's going to win. I don't trust Blake Bortles and his 85 passing yards to win another game.
But he had 87 rushing yards, so... That's 160. That's 190 or 170 yards.
Yeah.
170 yards total. So
wow, that's what you wanted of a quarterback. 170 total yards.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take New Orleans just because Drew Brees is way better than Case Keenum. But Case Keenum did have a great year. Kudos to him.
Drew Brees, 75% on the year.
He is unreal. I thought he was like losing a step like 3 years ago. He didn't.
We kind of were talking about this when we were watching some of the New Orleans game. We were saying how like underrated Drew Brees is among like the star quarterbacks and how underappreciated it is.
I read this today. Drew Brees, I mean, you got to think, if Drew Brees wins the Super Bowl this year, or even gets to the Super Bowl, he's been to more than Aaron Rodgers. And, I mean, Aaron Rodgers hasn't done anything in 7 years almost.
Yep. Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the NFL, or whatever. And Tom Brady rightfully is... Tom Brady is better than Drew Brees, but you never hear anyone talk about Drew Brees.
That's what I'm saying.
He has his like little commercials every once in a while, and then that's about all you see of him. But I'm picking Pittsburgh over Jacksonville. I think Blake Bortles has gone far enough. We need to end his tyranny.
I would totally root for Jacksonville if it wasn't Blake Bortles at quarterback. But no, he doesn't deserve to be there.
I'm going New Orleans over Minnesota because I'm cheering for Drew Brees this year. I want to see a Drew Brees, Tom Brady.
That would be really good.
We already got the Drew Brees, Peyton Manning Super Bowl. I want to see a Drew Brees, Tom Brady Super Bowl. So
I'm with you 100%. Although a Marcus Mariota, Case Keenum Super Bowl would be pretty cool.
That would be awful. Talk about not being able to sell your stars. They're doing the press week and they're like, we need to talk to Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles versus Nick Foles.
Yeah.
That's your Super Bowl right there.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah,
Calais Campbell would be like the star of the...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They would just bring Marshawn Lynch on a team just so he can talk to the media.
Speaking of Marshawn Lynch, it just made me think about it. Do you want to talk really quickly about the $100 million man in Oakland?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, John Gruden did get $100 million. It's pretty big.
Yeah, John Gruden. Both of us are, I think, in the same mindset because we kind of talked about this before. Just a quick update: if you've been living under a rock or don't follow the NFL, John Gruden, the guy that you hear on Monday Night Football, just took $100 million to coach the Oakland Raiders.
Man, I love John Gruden, but that is a lot of money.
That is a lot of money, and he hasn't coached in 9 years.
I know. See, I was like all for like John Gruden. Like if the Bears hadn't signed or gotten whoever, I would have been like, oh, the Bears could have gotten John Gruden. Like, I would have been happy with that. And then I was like, $100 million? No, I'll pass.
No. I'm not paying John Gruden $100 million to.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him though. I love John Gruden.
I like John Gruden too, and I like the Raiders as a team because like they've got a lot of people.
I like Derek Carr.
Derek Carr's really cool. He's had a little bit problem with injury, though. We'll see how that works. Yeah, but
hopefully he's okay or healthy next year.
I mean, this is an ultimate swing for the fences move. They're really going for it.
They have to win the Super Bowl soon. I mean,
I don't think they have to win the Super Bowl because I mean, like that like John Gruden, like that would make John Gruden one of like 5 NFL coaches to win 2 Super Bowls ever.
No,
yeah,
it's got to be more than that.
No, probably not. If you think about it, really think about it. Really think about who's won multiple Super Bowls. It's not that much more than 5.
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, I mean Chuck Noll.
I mean, it's definitely more than 5.
Johnson. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Bill Belichick, Bill Walsh. It's 5. I can't think of anything else.
Mike Tomlin.
No, Bill Cowher won the first one.
Bill Cowher won the first one. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he has to be successful. I don't think he has to win a Super Bowl, but I think he has to at least make them like a contender. Like, be there maybe.
They have to be in the like in the AFC Championship game by the second year.
We don't know how.
But Derek Carr is good. Like,
Derek Carr is good, and they'll be the favorites in the AFC for a long, or not the favorites because I mean they still have Tom Brady in that division or Tom Brady in that conference, and I think despite Tom Brady's old age, I think New England's going to be the favorite for as long as he and Belichick are there.
He's so good.
So, I mean, it's kind of unfair to be like, John Gruden, you didn't work out because you didn't beat Tom Brady and Bill Belichick.
Right, no, I understand.
Or Bill Belichick and whatever ex-quarterback. I mean, you didn't beat one of the best coaches in NFL history. You suck. Like,
I understand.
The bar is not like making the playoffs every single year that he was there and contending for the Super Bowl would be enough for me to say that was a success. Like, not like
they've got to.
There's so many. There's so many little like. There's so little people that have won Super Bowls and then gone. I think it's a zero quarterback or 0 coaches have won a Super Bowl in one city and then come back and won a Super Bowl in another city. I think that one is actually true.
That one might be true.
So
I'm not sure, but that would be...
I think I heard that somewhere. That's why I'm saying it. You can fact check me on that, but it's off the top of my head. I can't think of anybody. So
that's fine. I'll look it up while we keep moving on.
Moving on from the NFL, that's all that's happened there. Cheering for John Gruden, but that's a lot of money, man. We've got NBA. A lot of things that happen in the NBA because we got games every single day.
How did I forget Vince Lombardi? I'm an idiot. Okay.
It's the name of the Lombardi Trophy.
I know. Yeah, I probably should. Actually, there's more than you think.
That have won 2?
Yeah. There's a lot more than you think. I missed a lot of these. Tom Coughlin, Mike Shanahan, George Seifert, Tom Flores, Joe Gibbs, and Don Shula. So all plus everybody that I mentioned.
So like 9 or 10?
10-ish, yeah.
That's still a pretty small number in the history of the game.
Yeah. But anyway, you can keep going.
All right, so we got NBA. Moving on from the NFL. Let's not talk about the NFL anymore. It's going to make me upset because NFL sucks. Anyway, we got the NBA, my favorite sport. All right, you want to do a quick power rankings real quick? Let's just do top 5.
Yeah. I'm sticking Golden State number 1 just because they're winning without Curry.
Yeah,
they were winning without Curry.
Let's do like a together list on this one. So
okay, Golden State 1.
Golden State 1's fine. Like winning without Kevin Durant and Curry in different instances, and
yeah,
we'll see how they do without. I think is Kevin Durant playing tonight?
I'm not sure
because Curry is not playing tonight.
Curry's
so
not. Yeah,
if Kevin Durant's not playing tonight, we'll see how they do without either of them.
That would be interesting to see.
That would be interesting. We got Patrick McCaw and Sean Livingston starting.
What about Swaggy P?
Or Swaggy P, like getting 20 minutes off the bench.
Let's see here. I think you got to keep Boston. I think Boston's number 2, just because Houston fallen off. So what's his name?
I'm not off the Boston train, but I'm going to. I would like Toronto at number 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Toronto is really surprising.
Toronto's been really, really good.
That's fine.
They've played a lot less games than Boston. They had the same amount of losses.
Yeah.
But it's more of like a recency bias.
I understand. That's kind of how power rankings work.
But Boston at 3.
Yeah. Boston
and then
I don't want to put Houston out of the top 5, but they're losing a lot without James Harden.
Yeah.
A lot.
So much for the like Chris Paul makes them better thing, and then James Harden goes out and they're like, oh, this ship is sinking.
Yeah.
Gerald Green, the research, like that's a big find for them though. When James Harden's been out, is Gerald Green, because now when James Harden comes back, that means they have another like guy to space the floor. Yeah. Gerald Green, like to come off the bench. They have they just throw people at you.
To be fair, and this might not be a knock on James Harden, but I don't really know how much more Chris Paul can do. He is averaging 23, 8, and 10 in his last 3 games, so he's trying.
No, I'm not saying Chris Paul's bad. I'm just saying like James Harden's amazing.
I think James Harden's the MVP.
Yeah, I mean we'll get to that later, but
yeah. Anyway, so what did we say? 2 Toronto, 3 Boston. We probably should talk about how San Antonio's winning a lot of games and Kawhi Leonard's not even doing anything.
What about Cleveland?
Cleveland just got blown out by who did they play?
It was
Minnesota.
It was bad too.
No, it was Minnesota.
No, it was Minnesota.
Minnesota killed
them. They lost 2 in a row, didn't they?
They didn't lose 2. They gave up like 127 to Orlando or something like that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Or we could talk about the resurging Miami Heat, who are now 4th.
They're not in the top 5, though.
They're in the 4th in the East now.
They're not in the top 5.
Kind of crazy.
Not yet. I would go, so on my list I'd go Golden State, Raptors, Boston, San Antonio, Houston.
I'm fine with that. That's good.
Because as much as like Cleveland's now going to hear this and be like, or they're not going to hear this because no one listens to it, but Cleveland's going to be like, okay, they're going to rattle off 10 more wins or whatever. I mean,
yeah,
there's a lot of good teams in the NBA right now.
There are. It's going to be a good playoffs when we get there.
It's going to be really, really exciting. Okay, so moving on. So playoffs. Who do you think is the team to beat in the East?
Right now.
I mean, we just did our power rankings, so my personal team to beat in the East would be Toronto. And maybe like a close...
I don't think...
It'd be 1 and 1A, Toronto-Boston right now. But I mean, like the giant team to beat in the East is obviously Cleveland.
I think... I'm just going to assume Toronto chokes again, and you're playing Boston versus Cleveland. I honestly think Boston will win this game or win the 7-game series.
You're on my side now?
Just right now. I do think Cleveland will trade that pick and land like Jordan or Cousins or somebody. But right now, if they played...
This is a big development.
I know.
I was not expecting this.
Dude, Cleveland's defense stinks. And it just got worse when they put Isaiah Thomas back in.
This is what I've been saying.
Yeah, we were like 20 years into the season at the time.
But this is what I've been saying. I'm just... Listen to me.
I'm sorry, man. I always listened to you with the Clippers, though. And look what
and Boston's kind of faltered here and there, and their offense is good, but sometimes it just doesn't
They can just throw so many bodies at LeBron James.
That's what I'm saying.
It's ridiculous.
Other than Kyrie and Terry Rozier, pretty much all of them can guard LeBron.
Well, that's the thing. They're gonna. I mean, the Cavs are going to run their pick and roll offense like they always do, and then Boston is going to switch everything.
Yeah.
Horford, Smart, Brown, Tatum, who can't really defend, but he's long-ish.
He's long. I mean, he'll bother him
Morris,
at least a little bit.
So it's like, that's why right now I would take them. But come February 9th or whenever the trade deadline is, Cleveland will have either DeAndre Jordan, DeMarcus Cousins, Anthony Davis, somebody like
Boston has done the best to adjust, I think, to this new NBA game where you just want a lot of people that are like really, really flexible and can go from 3 to 1 and 3 to 5.
Because everybody does pick and roll.
Yeah, everyone does pick and roll, and you just want to be able to guard on pick and roll really, really easily.
Switch everything.
And even with, like we said, Jason Tatum, he's not necessarily a good defender, but he's a good team defender, and he's long, so he can bother people. It's not like he's going to be, torched by the point guard sometimes.
Right.
Like, that might happen, but it's not going to be, now we're out of luck because Jason Tatum, we got switched on LeBron. No, it's not like that.
Yeah, my only concern would be just because how young Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are. That's like my one knock. I think like if they were veterans, I would take Boston.
That's true, but they got Marcus Smart in their head.
I think the best thing that Boston has going for them is Kyrie's been there, Al Horford's been there. Like they've been there. So
and like they've got two, like you said, or probably more than two because they've got young people all over the place, but they've got really young players in really important places. But I think Brad Stevens is a good enough coach to like overcome that kind of thing.
Yeah,
because
I'm with you.
We've seen it like in big games before, where like the game against Golden State when they were down, and who brought them back? It was Jaylen Brown.
Yeah,
the youngest player or the second youngest player on the team. So
yeah, I understand. I'm with you, but. Cleveland's going to pull something out of their butts and, dominate somehow.
All right,
it's just going to happen.
Moving on from the East, let's move to the West. We've got, who's the bigger big three?
I've heard this debate a lot.
Minnesota or OKC?
I'm going Minnesota. I think officially...
Yeah, I think Minnesota too.
I think officially...
I was thinking about it. I was like, no, Carmelo Anthony's kind of trash.
That's what I'm saying. I think officially it's Andrew Wiggins over Carmelo Anthony as like a better third option. I mean, Carmelo Anthony is basically done.
Andrew Wiggins has fallen off a lot, but he's still better than Carmelo Anthony.
And Jimmy Butler is
been really
tear.
So I would personally rather have. Who would you rather have? And I know your answer. I'm just going to ask this question to pose it to you. Who would you rather have, Jimmy Butler or Russell Westbrook?
I would say Russell Westbrook's a better player, but I'd rather have Jimmy Butler on my team.
Jimmy Butler apparently just knows how to win.
He does.
He brought that whole, because really the only thing that changed with this roster was Jimmy Butler got there.
Yeah.
I mean, they got Jeff Teague too, but...
Who's honestly not playing that well and getting benched for Tyus Jones.
Yeah,
who's also really good.
Exactly. So, it's...
We already knew that.
There's not really much else that changed that roster. They got some bench people, but the bench doesn't even play in general because Tom Thibodeau runs the starters 48 minutes.
Yeah, he really does.
Jimmy Butler boosts that team at least, but it looks going to look like maybe 20 wins.
At least. That's why I said he's going to... That's why I said about the Bulls. He's literally a 20-win player. That's what he was.
If Russell Westbrook wasn't on the OKC Thunder, I mean, I think they'd be fine.
They'd probably still a 500 team without him.
Yeah. I mean, they're barely above 500 now.
That's what I'm saying.
He just doesn't make people better. He just doesn't.
He doesn't. And we've made this discussion before. I don't know if we've had this discussion on the podcast because it's been so long since we've done a podcast. But Russell Westbrook, if you look at all the players that just left him last year, they're all having career years this year.
Think about all the players that have left them in general. They're all better.
Yeah.
Harden was better. Durant is probably better. Sabonis is better. Oladipo is
Cephalosha is better.
I don't know about that, but they're all better.
Yeah,
all of them.
Like, even, like, McDermott.
McDermott? Yeah. I would say McDermott's better.
I think he's having a better year this year than he did last year.
Yeah.
He's relegated to sitting in the corner going, all right, Russell Westbrook didn't pass the ball.
Is Russell going to pass me? Is he going to pass me? Is he going to pass me?
He's just I'm gonna be shooting right position so Russell Westbrook can get his assist. I'm gonna miss it and he's gonna yell at me.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm 100% with you.
All right,
he does not make anybody better.
Moving on to trade rumors, we got a trade rumor near and dear to your heart.
Yeah, we do. I heard this one today.
Also, we haven't really talked about the Bulls going on whatever crap that was.
Yeah, they won what, 10 or 12 games?
Yeah, during the holiday, during the break that weren't on the podcast, they just started going off.
Yeah,
but Nikola for favors.
Yeah, no, please no. I mean,
so this is like the whole thing about Nikola going out and playing so well. So everyone was kind of happy because like now he's going to get more value in trades.
I was actually going to talk to you about this off the podcast, but since I'm going to bring it up now. And you know how much I hate the Bulls management. This might have been the most genius thing they ever did. They gave him a no-trade clause, but he also has a team option. So, they can trade him either as an expiring contract to a team that wants an expiring contract, or they can take his contract whenever they want and then trade him on like a $10 million deal, which is an amazing bargain for 2 years. Because Alan Krabs making $20 million a year. Like Mirotic at $12 million a year is a crazy bargain. So they can just take his contract and then trade him.
So, but who would be a good suitor for Mirotic? Or are they?
He wants to go to the Utah. It's really weird, but that's what he says. I think he wants to play with Rubio.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That'd be my guess. He says he wants to go to Utah. I don't want Derek Favors. We already have.
Is there anyone on Utah that you would take, like Rodney Hood or something?
I'd take Rodney Hood. Because Rodney Hood could play the 3. I would take Rodney Hood.
Do you think Utah would do that?
No,
Rodney Hood
I don't.
Mirotic?
I don't.
Mirotic has been better than Rodney Hood this year.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't think they would do it.
But Rodney Hood's also younger.
Yeah, and locked in longer.
Yeah.
Because he can be restricted. Why would you want Derek Favors? He can't shoot. He can't really rebound. He's not really that good of a defender
He's
either.
not really a pace and space guy like Fred Hoiberg wants.
And that seems to be working.
It does. I mean, that's the NBA now. It's just shoot a bunch of threes. You know, like Houston does, shoot 45 threes a game.
And all the Bulls have fallen off a little bit. They're at least competing. Like they're losing now. They're supposed to.
They look a lot better than their 2 and whatever record was, or 6 and whatever record.
3 and 20.
Yeah. Whatever it was bad, and they look at least a lot better now. And as much as I don't like it because I hate when Mirotic succeeds, I'd be glad to see him go off the Bulls because. Just don't go to Utah, and then Utah suddenly miraculously end up starting winning. I would die inside because I've been cheering
Donovan Mitchell.
I know I've been cheering for Utah to do stuff, and they've been horrible as of late. But Donovan Mitchell's still. We can talk about that on a different podcast. We can talk about the rookie race because I think it's a lot closer than people.
I would agree.
People write it off as this is Ben Simmons' thing to win. I don't.
Here's something that's interesting. Lauri Markkanen, Donovan Mitchell, and Jason Tatum are all within 3 threes of each other for the most threes of all time for a rookie.
Yeah, I know.
They're all going for it at the same time. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, I'm okay with the Bulls trading Mirotic. But
who would you want? I know for some reason Mirotic wants to go to Utah, but what kind of team do you think would want Mirotic's stuff, services? Like a competing team?
I think
a team like Cleveland or Boston? Well, maybe in the Raptors?
The Raptors probably could use him. They need somebody who else
you think he can swing Anunoby? I don't think you could do that. If he could swing Anunoby, would you take it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I would too.
I'm also okay with losing the rest of this year so we can try and get a top 5.
You should be okay with losing the rest of this year.
But the problem is we're picking 10th now, so I don't know what we should do. Should we go for it, or should we just try and tank?
No, you should tank. You should not have won those past 12 games. That's what you should do. You should go back in time and then break his leg.
Yeah. I'm getting kind of excited for this Bulls team because Markkanen looks great, Dunn looks great, Levine's coming
back on Saturday. So.
Yeah. Portis looks really good. Like, it looks like they've developed the talent, so I don't really know what else we want. Probably a small forward. I'm trying to think of...
Well, you need like an actual like star. You don't have any of those yet.
Well, I understand. I mean...
But you're not going to get that.
You're not going to get from Mirotić, no. But...
I mean, maybe you can swing a Cousins deal.
That's what I was thinking. Well, no. Although, I could see them going for Cousins in the offseason. I mean, they...
Well, if you offered them... Like, it would have to be more than Mirotić, obviously. But if you offered them, like, a pick...
Yeah.
And Mirotić and...
you could kick in
Justin
one of the young
Holiday
guys.
and...
Yeah. It's possible.
That's a better trade than Sacramento got for him.
That's true.
So, I mean... If it looks like they're not going to make the playoffs, which they're right now, they're the 8th seed.
Yeah, I don't know what New Orleans is going to do.
I don't know, because they're in a really, really...
Yeah.
You guys already know our opinions on what New Orleans should do, but they're probably not going to do that, because that'd be the smart thing to do.
NBA teams never do the smart thing.
At least that's what I would think. Maybe, like, if you're thinking with your wall, it's probably not the smart thing to do, but if you're thinking with wins in mind, probably the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. Quickly. This season's been really, really crazy. So, who you got for MVP? You kind of already gave your
James
preview.
Harden.
Yeah, James Harden. I think it's a lot. This is a pretty close race between a bunch of different people.
So I'm trying to think who you're looking at. You got James Harden, obviously. LeBron James. Stephen Curry is making his case, I think, again. I know he's been hurt a lot, but he's making a case. Kevin Durant's making a case.
It's funny because, like, people being hurt is that's what making other people's cases.
Yeah.
So, like, Isaiah Thomas being hurt at the beginning of the year was making LeBron's case. Chris Paul being hurt for a little while is making James Harden's case. James Harden being hurt for a little while is making James Harden's case.
Yeah.
And then Curry and Durant are helping each other.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's James Harden right now, but I think this is a much harder race to tell than it was years for
I would agree.
Previous years.
Who do you have someone that isn't going to win, but who kind of deserves some credit for MVP? Do you have one of those? I kind of have one in mind. DeMar DeRozan.
When you said I have something in mind, I was like, he's probably going to say DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan.
I can see it. Like he's not
credit.
averaging as many points as he did last year, but he's being way more efficient.
More efficient.
And he finally found out how to shoot threes, kind of.
Yeah.
And we'll see if that's
He's
an aberration or not. It might be just like an Aaron Gordon thing where he just.
No, I understand, but like he's been great. He's been
great.
Really great.
He's been really, really great. And like I said, I think Boston is the better team still, but Toronto right now is looking just as good as anybody.
I've got to see in the playoffs. We've been there a million times with them.
It's every year. It's like they're the 1 or 2 seed, or like in between 1 and 4, and then they just lose in the first round or squeak out of the first round, which they should have crushed.
Right? Yeah, and they get blown out. Yeah.
I think that's it for us, though. Mm-hmm. Little quick update podcast for you. We'll have more of these coming in every week.
Yeah, we'll get back on it.
We're going to go and move into the studio, and we'll have new mics, maybe.
Yeah.
With sweet, fancy mic stands, and maybe, like, cameras set up so you can actually see us in video.
So, yeah, you can look. You can see how stupid we look compared to how stupid we sound.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you can see how cool this poker table is.
Yeah.
With the marquee and the weird baseball lamp and the Bears, all the Bears.
The Bears totem pole. Yeah. I started packing some of the stuff away, and I was like, we're gonna get it going.
I got a present from somebody that was it a Phoenix Suns or what?
Cardinals.
It was a Cardinals
I'm glad you know what your present was.
I saw it for one day, and I was like, yeah, you put this in the man cave so I can have
I actually packed it away already.
So it's not because if you look at the room, it's just Bulls and Bears stuff. And I was like, okay, I want some representation too. Here, put that on the wall. It's going to be one little Cardinals, 10, it's one of those metal license plate kind of things. Anyways, that's it for us.
Yep.
Trevor, where can they find you?
At the T-Barbs on Twitter.
And you can follow the show on Twitter at Completely Bias.
See ya.